Welcome to the weekly report for Fibo Group. My name is Yuri Tsihush. This week promises to be interesting for the European currency with the release of the index of business activity in the services sector and the industrial PMI from France, Germany and the European Union as a whole. Next news of the week that will drive the market will be the business climate in Germany from Institute IFO. Later in the market, we'll be interested in the release of durable goods orders from the United States, as well as the index of consumer sentiment and inflation expectations from the University of Michigan. The beginning of the week may start from slow trading. Insignificant statistics from the Eurozone, as well as the release of new home sales from the US, may not be enough to arouse the interest of traders during the European and American session. Tuesday will be the most anticipated day of the week. During the European session will be the release of statistics on business activity in the services sector and industrial PMI from France, Germany and the whole Eurozone. This indicator is interesting as it is a leading indicator for the assessment of the economy in one or another country. Since the start of the year, German industrial output has been on the decline, and in France has remained above zero. This may put some pressure on the European currency. On Wednesday will be the release of the Business Climate Index in Germany from the Research Institute IFO. This number tends to be quite important for the market and could cause some high volatility in the euro. And of course, as usual with us is Andrew Masters, an investment analyst from Fibo Group. Andrew, I welcome you. Can you comment on business climate in Germany from IFO?
Well, thanks guys, it's great to be here as usual. Well, it's been a woeful time for the German economy as it contracted 0.6% in yearly terms, putting a question mark on Europe's biggest powerhouse. German business confidence also declined more than expected in August, providing further evidence that Europe's largest economy remains under pressure from a number of different factors. A report from the IFO Institute points to a fall in GDP this quarter, although not as much as previously predicted. The fall comes on the back of other business surveys showing the crisis in Ukraine has dampened business confidence and sentiment as Germany abides by the sanctions imposed on Russian companies for their country's interference in Ukraine. The closely watched survey from the IFO Institute fell to 106.3 in August, down from 108 in the previous month and falling for a fourth straight month. Analysts were expecting a more modest fall to 107. The IFO president Hans Wern-Sin released a statement saying that declines in the economy were fairly widespread across the board. One of the biggest losers was manufacturing, hitting its lowest level since July 2013. There were also some declines in the wholesaling and retailing numbers. The only bright spot was the construction industry, which rose slightly. Many economists, including Carsten Bresdy of ING Bank, expect the country to return to growth in the third quarter. The IFO survey of business leaders show that most of them see favourable conditions ahead regarding growth in the German economy. This assessment of the economy by these well-respected parties may give weight to the argument that in fact the contraction won't drag on too long. All eyes will be on this week's latest release of the IFO Business Survey as investors look for signs of third quarter recovery in Europe's biggest economy, or if in fact we will see a continuation of the downtrend. That's all from me at Fibo Group, and I'll see you all next week.
Thank you, Andrew, and see you next week. Thursday will focus on publication of the index of durable goods orders from the United States, which has a higher degree of importance. This release can create significant trading activity, as it is one of the most important economic indicators from the United States. If this number comes in strong, we expect a strong sell-off on the euro against the United States dollar. On Friday, during the American trading session, the market will focus on the output index of consumer sentiment and inflation expectations from University of Michigan. The consumer sentiment index is an indicator for measures the level of consumer confidence in economic activity. Therefore, higher values indicate optimism and a lower number pessimism. Inflation expectations measure the percentage of change in prices for goods and services, taking into account the next 12 months. It should still be noted that the University of Michigan published several versions of statistical data, preliminary and revised. These values are published every 15 days. Observations indicate that the preliminary forecast is released before and it can have a greater impact on the course of trading. To sum up, this week promises to have less volatility without strong speculative interest. There may be some speculative trading due to the above mentioned news, which may create a little bit of volatility. Thank you everyone, have a wonderful and profitable day and week.